comes to mind every single time, and it is the best way, you know, to describe him. It's just raw energy. You can't duplicate this stuff. You can't print it. You can't fake it. It comes from the heart. It comes from the gut. It's this adrenaline rush that's coming from the gut, and it comes from battle scars, and it comes from being invested and focused and having a clear definition of what you actually want to accomplish. And you can't really fake that, and that's something that he actually brings to the table, and you have to respect that. Remember, like yesterday, the first time that I actually came across his content, and I was researching different ways to motivate my team, different ways to actually develop content for them, and I come across his video, and it was one of the most epic videos still today for me, and it was a Grant rant. It was that hustle muscle. And that thing just fueled me up, gave me the adrenaline, gave me a rush. I was just shocked, and from that moment forward, you know, I've been actually following his content. And actually, if you look back, and this is one of the best ways to describe it, looking back at this video, it's one of the most organic ways of actually describing what 10X is all about. Biggest fulfillments, rewards, whatever you want to call it, and using this content, you know, for all these years with my team, it's exactly that. It changed the entire dynamic. It changed the culture. You could actually feel the energy in the floor. You can actually see, you know, these team members going at it week over week, meeting their goals quarter after quarter, year over year. They were invested, and it was something special to actually see this entire culture of people involved in actually meeting goals together and bringing different material, different content, and it really actually, you know, had to do with that 10X mentality. So it's something special to actually see that in an organization. Really have to actually respect the level of engagement from the team. And I'm not talking just about Grant, I'm talking about Elena, I'm talking about Todd, I'm talking about Robert, Jared, that entire team. In fact, I remember last year I went to Miami for a work conference, and I decided to just pass by, you know, the Cardone offices, and Todd was kind enough to give me a tour, you know, and he, you know, passed by the sales floor, showed me the entire, you know, team and everything like that, and it was just great. I was energized. You can actually see, you know, that 10X culture, you know, that, you know, obsessed people, you know, going for it. And so it's not just the posting, it's not just the videos, you know, they live and die by that. And so you actually have to respect that. My hat's off to all of you guys for doing an incredible job, you know. So the level of engagement is always there, and it's a pretty cool thing, you know. And I remember even last year when we did this, I think was the water pitch, you know, and I did my water pitch. And I did it for myself, you know. I was doing a little bit of video editing, photography at that time, and I did it. I thought it was cool, you know. I liked it, and that's all that matters, you know. And a few days later, or a day or so later, I remember, you know, Grant posted my actual video and giving me some props, and dude, that actually made my day. I was ecstatic. I was pumped. I was adrenaline. I was fueled and gassed up. Man, I loved it. And later on, then reality hits, and then it's like all the actual hater warriors came out to play, and you start seeing all these negative comments. Yo, he went over the time, that's not a water pitch, or whatever it was. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, you know, that's the only thing you can catch from that, you know, all this negative stuff, and how people focus on all the bad stuff instead of, you know, looking for the good in something. I could care less about, you know, the time restriction. I was doing it for myself. But I was just really kind of like, wow, what the hell's going on? You know, that's how people think, and it was awesome. You know, it put a cherry on the top. That same night, you know, Grant started posting a bunch of different quotes, you know, pretty much going right at the actual haters. So bring it on, ding dong. The entire concept of Development Crate is to actually work with individuals that actually are passionate and are in search of actually finding, you know, their purpose, clarity, you know, resources. And I look forward to working with different individuals in different industries, you know, different communities, but we're all working towards one common goal, is to actually help others. Look forward to Development Crate 2018.
I gotta get it. What you finna do about it? I'm finna get it. Hey, deal estate. I hear the money knocking.